Grand Rising family, it's Shay Seeking, and I'm back with another American Aborigine Bible study. So, again, and we don't really call it Bible study, or I don't want to call it Bible study. I feel like I'm calling these type of things breaking the Bible, right? Because, or the historical and biblical information unearthed or unchained. See, because the whole unchained thing that came about when it comes to this channel and everything is about as going back as close to the origins as the Aboriginals or really originals or origines. And Going back into the mindset and trying to tap into some type of information, now knowing who we are. See, because again, if you keep thinking you're from Africa, there's no way to investigate that. There's no records that really show and prove. While people still think a DNA test is something that may be legit, but again, they've come out and said they fooled people over time by letting them think that the tests are more extensive than they really are, and they're really for your entertainment purposes only. Again, we have to remember that people were being traded all over this plane. No one's saying that no one could not have been in contact with these people prior to the invasion, okay? But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. The reason why we're claiming what we're claiming on this land is because it feels as though it is the truth, okay? We know it's the truth. Okay, so again, those who say, oh, well, why do you need to, use books and things if you're so woke or you're so, in tune? That's that seems a bit ignorant to me because again, we're not going in here to try to get you to do snare you or get you to get any kind of beliefs. We're going into historical documents to show you who we're dealing with, how they dealt with you, who you are, who they are. So again, unless we know that story, you know what I'm saying? Again, how would we even know that we were origines? If people didn't still go in books to get that type of information and bring it to people and then make them go search through old documents and books and words. We can't get rid of words. We still use them. We're going to use them whether these people are here or not. We used our own language before they came here, and we use a different language now. So again, language is not going anywhere. These things are just words. They're just books. They're just things jotted down over time that we can use to reference for. Most of us are already in tune somewhere in our lives or all the way around in our lives, and we're able to tap into information, but we're trying to figure out a way to share it with other people that still read books and think that books have information. And you see what I'm saying? So you have to go into this, just like we have to sometimes refer to our people as black still. Now we don't need to say that this is your nationality or this is something as this nature. But if we're trying to get this information out to all people that look like us to wake them up, shit, we already know the information. Aborigines. You know what I'm saying? So we still need to use those terms in order to reference to this. This is the same thing that someone would do if they had a business model. Okay. You have to use that term to get to that clientele. We have to use those terms to talk to our people because a lot of them are looking at your stuff saying Aboriginal. What the hell that mean? What, she thinks she from outer space, or he think that he from what he think he from Australia, because they don't know. So again, we all know the information. We're just passing the information to each other over and over again. It's time to go out to the public and give this information to them. And if we're going to do that, we're going to have to call them by their name that they think that they are right now. Again, and then let them know why we don't like to use that term. But again, you have to be able to use those terms on your platforms or you will not attract anybody but yourselves. And then what is that doing? See, because most of the time when you do that, everybody has their, not to say, because I've met some people on here that are very non-biased, very fair. They share information from other sources. They don't want to be the center of attention, like me. You know what I'm saying? And most of us don't when we're in this mindset. You know what I'm saying? We just want to help the people, but we have to think business. We have to think strategy. We have to prepare. We have to plan. In order to do so. So again, if we keep putting referencing everything to Aborigines, you're going to get a lot of Aborigines. But again, we're trying to wake up the rest of the nation that don't know that yet. Okay. So anyways, I just wanted, that was just a small rant. I'm going to do a separate video on that, on people calling people out for looking at information. We're just referencing to this stuff because this is the kind of stuff that has put us to sleep. These are the lies that have been told that we're unearthing or unchaining the mind first, knowing that everything is a false perception and notion, knowing you've been lied to about everything. And now you're going to go ahead and rediscover by seeking yourself, which again, you get to a higher connection of the true living or God that's within, right? And then that taps into different types of tools and different types of images and words that will trigger things in you to remember or to see or to hear certain things that you need to hear on your journey in order to elevate yourself. So again, I have nothing. I use books because I know what they do. Most of the stuff I'm already sitting on. I just have to go through my mind and calculate a way to relay it to other people so I don't sound crazy. I just have to go. The answers come. I am just trying to uh, discern them or put them in a particular way where other people can understand them. Okay, so that's what it is. And again, once they do, they will be able to do the same thing. So you're not regurgitating, you're not taking my information. We're not even using their information. We're using their information to prove that these things particularly happened and that we have already gotten the signal. We already have the message. But there's no way to, people want proof. They want documents. They want this, they want that. So again, we're already in tune with ourselves enough to know when we do need these extra tools and when we don't need them. There's information that will come to you and it's a sense of knowing. Okay. And you don't need to look anywhere else. And then it builds on by other things that you run across throughout the day, signs and symbols. The universe will start to speak to you in a sense by putting things in front. I cannot tell you, listen, even if you're not someone, you don't have to go through all the stuff with it. And this is not knocking anyone that does, but when it comes to so-called spirituality or us tapping into this frequency or this way, okay, you can do this if you see. And these are some of the things that the stigmas that we put out there that distract our people from just getting the information. People will tell you that you shouldn't wear weave anymore. If you're a lady, you shouldn't wear makeup, Even I have said that guys that wear gold jewelry, why won't you take that and turn that into a business or do something to help your family? So that doesn't mean that I'm saying you can't do that. I'm just saying everyone has their things that they have to give up in their life in order to ascend. Okay? So again, people will tell you you have to not eat meat. Then they'll say, oh, you need to eat meat. And they'll tell you all these things that you have to do in order to get in tune. And I don't think it's true. In order to do tarot, you need a tarot deck that kind of uh fits you. Okay, you need the guide that comes with it, and you need your own self and your own energy to be at a higher status, and then or elevated status, and then you will be able to do this on your own. I don't really like to do tarot for other people. I do it for myself, and it is on point every single day. Same thing with my numerology, and the same thing with my zodiac. Okay, with my what do you call it? Dang it, y'all know what I'm saying. Okay, so every single day it is on point by the moment. I ask a question, I get in tune, I center myself, and I plant myself there. And I will ask a question and I will get the answer. So again, I'm telling you guys, you don't have to have all the other things and I wear a lot of like gypsy skirts and stuff like that. You don't have to have the dressings and stuff like that. You don't have to have a table set out with all kind of crystals and things like that. A lot of us get in tune with these things and we're more worried about the things that are there instead of what's inside. Okay, so when I say this, I'm not knocking anyone because again, someone may be able to still listen to, you guys know I don't listen to rap music or really any type of music that has any downplaying of the people anymore. And that cleared a lot of my mind space up. But I know that there's guys out there that still listen to that and they are actually in tune. See? So it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to help you see things that you can do in your day-to-day life that you can sacrifice or give up in order to find yourself. That's it. Because the things that they offer us in this world are distractions to our people. They're distractions to us. Okay? They're tools to keep us in their mind frame that they need in order for them to thrive on top of you forever. So again, once we realize that and we break away and say, I don't want none of that shit. Now would be the time, okay, really, because all this shit that's about to go on with these vaccines and stuff with your children going back to school is questionable. So right now would be the time. They're going to start requiring licenses, this and that for you to do hair and this is what I'm saying. You're going to have to either comply or goodbye. Okay. And I'd rather take goodbye because we do not know what they're doing to us. We don't know what they've been doing to us for generations and after generations. Look at some of the things that are in their vaccines. What are they doing to your mental? I watched a documentary about mind control. They have been using mind control, and they said they especially use it on prisoners of war. Now, I'm not saying that they take a little weapon and beam it at your forehead and erase your memory. Who knows? That's the imagery that they give you in movies and stuff, so that you think that that's what it's like. It may be something as well as just killing off all of the adults or the elderly. Hmm. Hmm. With this so-called viruses and these pandemics, and it may be taking the children away from their parents, okay, and actually retraining them or something like this. So again, don't think that just because we're in 2020 that things like this can't happen. It can strategically happen. Right now there could be a city in our town, I mean in our country, with this whole thing and all this shit going on, and we can't pay attention to every place at all times. There could be whole towns being taken in and being forced to comply to different type of testing and all this other stuff at this point in time. We would not know. They can come into a town in the middle of the night and knock the towers out, and no one, everybody has cell phones nowadays. We can't remember people's phone numbers and everything like that. They can come through and do something within that area with their 5G or their satellites or their technology. Again, we know that they know more about the mind than they set out for us to know. When it deals with psychiatry and all this other stuff, yes, they know the mechanism of how to get people to move. But again, they admit that most of the brain, they don't even really know what it does. So even if you're someone that's, you know, specializes in that area, there may be some things that you don't know. Doctors admit that there's something that baffles them. There's some kind of nucleal sac or something in your, where they're putting that Q-tip right now, that has to do with something. And they laugh about it because they just don't know what they know is there, but they just don't know what's there for. See? So again, what I'm saying to you is not too far fetched. Okay, the source that we're connected to, they use all their signals and all their G's in order to disturb that frequency. They use fear in putting so-called black people in certain positions, and they all work together. They all work together in order to put these things together, psyops, and you guys think that it's a joke. But again, a lot of us study this stuff because we want to bring the information to you for you can start thinking for yourself. Okay, so again, I'm not here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me. Okay. So with that we would have to know. We could look in history. And how do we do that? We look at old books about pandemics. We look at different things. This is why it's important to be in tune and take a second look at some of these things like the Bible and other scriptures. They're just history. Again, I don't see it as any way of getting closer to any type of God outside of me or this God-running force. It's getting me more in tune with me, who we were, who we are. Again, some people say we are our ancestors, whatever. There's a connection there. There's a connection there to something supposedly divine, okay? And again, when we get into a certain state of mind, it turns on. It's like a hive colony mentality, right? Like when an ant dies in the colony, they send off a fragrance or a scent so that all of the other ants can come in and carry that body away as like they're gonna go to a burial. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like how we do. We don't really deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. A lot of families don't even really deal with each other anymore because so many things are piled up on. It's not by choice. We all feel bad about it. We sit at home and wish we were closer to our families. It's not because we hate our families. It's just so much shit going on in the world and we're preoccupied, right? But at the end of the day, when somebody passes away, especially when it comes to heavily melanated people here in America, I know that we have the deepest funerals that you can ever find. You know what I'm saying? There's, when it comes to the funeral lines and things like that, there's so many people that show up. People have to stand up in there, as opposed to, not to be wrong or anything, to other people that, again, maybe they just don't have a big family, but um they don't have that many people show up for their funerals. They're a little bit, it's smaller. We grieve differently. We are different. Okay. So anyhow, they may spend a lot of time together when they're living and go on vacations and stuff. They have free time. See, we think that it's about white supremacy when that's not the case. It's about a hierarchy. They have a supreme way of being because, again, we don't know who we are. They have taken our seat and given us the garbage. And so we are in a low vibrating status. Okay. So again, they get to enjoy life a little bit more, means their mindset is in a different way, means it keeps them healthier for longer and things like that. But at the end of the day, everything has to come to an end. And I think that is time. So I forgot where I was even going with that. But yeah, so they're able to do those things, not live in a constant state of worry or fear like some of us do. And again, they use their tools like media to promote certain things to trigger you. And then they keep you in that frequency. So again, some of these things, again, I didn't read that in a book. I know this now by being quiet, by listening, by doing all of the things that I've been doing for years, by researching. I know this, okay? So there's not a book I can show you to prove it to you, but a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, where's the information?" But then wait, I thought that looking at books and reading and knowing what words mean that got us in the situation that we are in because we don't know the real definitions by the people that gave them to us, to not know. This is like having a keyword book or what's the key something book, the answer key that the teacher used to have. It's like having the answer key, using the tools that's already installed in you in order to expose what has been going on. So again, there's no honor to whatever. And again, if everybody so-called hated black people, then who are the people, the so-called white people again, that wrote about us in antiquity, but their image, their information just didn't go to mainstream because the hierarchy, okay, that's what I think I was talking about, has control of the narrative of what goes into the schools. A lot of people have brought forth information about us being here, but it can't be published because it goes against their narrative and they want to hide the fact of who you are. It's it's the world's biggest secret. Okay, so we're talking about a hierarchy. We're not talking about, or if you want to, like I always say, we can call it privilege, because they are the living creatures created by God, formed from the earth, which is you, on this land. They wedded us. We are the wife. We are the doubters, or the dowry. Okay, they paid a dowry. Okay, for a sense, for us, and some of it was in lives of us. Okay, so again, information is out there, dude. Don't be saying stuff like that to people just because you don't want to look deeper into things, because you don't want to get a better or heightened sense of, what's going on. You can stay, we can always go higher, right? Everybody can always go higher. So again, you're limiting yourself. There's no way that you can go into yourself and find all the answers. These things have been put out here in public now, in the public domain and on your internet, instead of looking up celebrities and their drama. This also a tool of distraction, a weapon of mass distraction. Okay, so again, instead of doing that kind of thing or looking up makeup tips and all that shit, we ain't got no time for that right now. This is a different day. This is a different day. Take all the tools you have already and use them, and then do your damn research. Because again, we will repeat what's going on if we don't start paying attention. So that was a whole nother video. I'm gonna have to find a whole nother image to put here, because I was about to talk about Samson and the lion, and we just went all the way off on something else. But again, I just felt like it was necessary to say. The information is out there. Just because people don't like to read, don't be trying to turn other people off from information. You know what happens to me sometimes? I have one, two, three, four, five, six. 6 bookshelves in my house. Okay. One is built in. I have a huge, like, tool garage, huge black heavy duty uh metal shelf down here with books on it, and I have 2 or 3 smaller bookshelves in here with all kind of books on it. These books I've been collecting over the last 10 years, antique, this, Bibles, all, trying to get first editions of things, looking into things. I can pick up a book right now. I even collect children's books. I used to collect children's books. Okay, so I can pick up one of these children's books about the Bible or science or something, and just sometimes something just says open up the book, and I will open up to a page of something that I'm already thinking of. So again, no one's bragging, no one's saying, I'm just saying that we can all tap into these skills. But you have to realize that everything you've been taught is a lie, and you have to be trying to withdraw or pull yourself away from the system in a sense, some kind of way. I know we still have to work and make money to pay our bills, but I'm just saying, mentally, spiritually, physically, just finding out, looking around you, taking a look around you in your life and your lifestyle and where you've been and how far you've come, and look at things that are not benefiting you and get rid of them. See, to fill that with more information or more you. See, Because again, the answer or the connection of that particular God that would be your particular God is already in you. Okay? It's speaking to and through you. Okay? We're just using these things as tools to incite or provoke thought. That is it. I'm not looking to get closer to no God and no heaven or no or further away from no devil under the ground, because I already know that they're talking about a symbolic, metaphorical type of thing, and that we're really already in hell as Black people because we are the lowest class in the society. We are not connected to the abode of God or the heavens or the house of God, where this is where privilege comes into play. This is where class and separation comes into play. And it's not because of your skin color, because some of the so-called white supremacists are your color. It's about who you are and what is rightfully yours and your birthright on this land right here. Okay? So again, thank you guys for listening. Let me try to find an image to put up here, and then we're going to go ahead and go into Samson in the lion. Okay? Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, or comment. And don't forget to join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained if you have some information that can directly assist our people in waking. Okay? So again, yeah, take care.